Alright, sweet. Hello guys, Justin here again. And today I wanted to talk about something. Something I hold dear, something I very interested in and stuff like that. So, further I want to start with a quote. Okay? However, may now and then answer popular ends, they are likely in the course of time and things to become potent engines by which cunning, ambitious, and unprincipled men will be enabled to subvert the power of the people and usurp for themselves the reins of government, destroying afterwards the very engines which have lifted them to unjust dominion. George Washington. Now I know what you're probably thinking. What the hell is this? What type of quote was that? There's words that I have never even used in my vocabulary ever. But this is talking about what would happen if political parties were a part of the American system and what George Washington would want. He, in this quote that I just read aloud, he is saying that political parties, if made in the United States, could tear our people apart. And it shows very well. This is a paper, an essay I wrote back in 2018 when stuff wasn't as bad as it was, but I was reflecting on some stuff of things back then, back in 2016, mid 17, end of 17. 18 cooled off and 19 cooled off, but it wasn't until 2020 when stuff started to get back up, and the political structure of America right now is absolutely horrible. And seeing this, it's horrible to see that a country and see someone who made something so. He made this quote thinking that if this thing were to happen, it will tear a country apart. And at this very moment, he's sort of right. He is right. Um, there's always been conflict in human history, no matter what little silly thing there is. People will kill each other over the dumbest of reasons, but politics, especially, has been probably something that has been killing people for years. It seems like it's been the you want to call any sort of main cause of death, it'd probably be politics. Now, I talk about how the state of the whole United States is and how people are killing each other over stupid politics, over phrases, over anything at this point. Anything. And neither side is any sort of. Neither side can be considered immoral. They never were, but they never were. This just goes to show. Um, I very recent. I want to just talk about another thing is like people are willing to cut contact with people and break off ties with someone if they have a different opinion from the other. And me, I've that's happened to me. That's happened to me before. Now, I'm not gonna say who, sake of everything. I don't want anybody attacking anybody. I don't want anything like that to happen. But I'll tell you this: that this person was going through a tough time. It seemed like. He seemed like a cool guy. He I consider him a cool guy. And well, what happened was that we go a little off topic, and then my political views seem to show up. You know, my political views. If you already don't, you know, I am a conservative. Um, I believe in somewhat of the Republican Party. I'm not a big fan of it now, but it's big fan as in like the recent events that have been happening and transpiring. But what I can say is that when I said that, it just he just cut contact with me over my political beliefs. I was there to write paragraphs for him and to make him feel like he was worth something, and I wanted to be there for him. I consider him a good guy, but then he cut contact with me. I'll tell you a happy ending that I explained him sort of the situations and a lot of things like that, and we're good now. All right, so that's good. But this is an example I want to give to people. I want to show you guys that you could literally save this person's life. You could do whatever you can to help this person. If you go off topic once, there's a possibility that they just completely cut ties with you. I'm not saying good possibility because that may not happen, but there's been people who've done that. People are willing to cut ties with someone and treat them like they're nothing but trash and shit because of it. Because of their political beliefs, because they believe what they want and they don't want any of this, I guess, whatever political view that's the opposite of them. Now, I grew up being liberal. I grew up in a home where I started off liberal. My family is liberal still, and I'm pretty much the only conservative in my family. And that is fine. We're not killing each other over politics. We're not doing any sort of shit like that. Because you know why? Because it's rational thinking. It's something that goes in your head where it's like, oh, well, I'm a conservative. Ah, that's fine. You're a liberal. That's fine. Most of my friends could be considered liberal, and I'm all right with that. I'm not gonna go cut ties with someone because of their, race or their sexuality, anything, or most importantly, politics. It's horrible to see that. Um, and it's sad to see that now day and age that people are starting to just completely do that. Not only that, but what I hate the most, and probably anybody can probably agree with me, that the media is an enemy of anybody. I don't care what you say, right? I used to want to be a journalist. I used to want to be a journalist, um, and have that be my job because I thought it'd be nice. I thought it'd be fun. I thought it'd be reporting on the truth and explain things that have been going on around the world and give people views on certain situations. But I don't see it that when I look at the media now saying all that, I don't think that's what the media is anymore. I think what I see now is that they just see profit. They see signs. They see they see sides and dollar signs, everything. They give a shit about more of those clicks than they do about those people. That's what I think the media is now. They're not they make these headlines and they put labels on everybody and they split us all apart. The political structure and media, and when we're just talking about one side and we're not giving a perspective of another, begin to split. We begin to split each other apart from each other. And when that split happens, you believe that side's right because you've seen it the most, or you believe this side's wrong because you've seen it that it's wrong the most. Once you start taking one side and not seeing the others, you get to understand what's going on now. You get to see everything differently. You instead of seeing like what someone else's POV would be or someone else's, you're just going to take that one side. Now, not only that, but you're going to get labels put on you. And the same thing will happen back because of this, for the reason that, say someone does a headline on rioters in the streets, BLM tearing down shit and putting on anti-government, you know, anti-government signs and cutting off the heads of like pigs and shit, which has happened, but that's the thing. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna see my mom, my dad, my sisters. I'm not gonna look at any of them like they're some sort of pig sacrificing government, anti-government, like anarchists, like crazy people. That's not what I would do. That's not a that's nowhere close to what I would see of them. I'm not going to see them as those people because I know they're not. Not only that, but I I'm not going to, and I know they won't do the same to me because they won't see me as this redneck racist, all this sort of dumb shit, phobia, whatever you want to call it. They're not going to do the same because they know who I am. They know who I am. They'll joke about it, I'll joke about it back, but they know who I am. And that's none of those things that the media is portraying us as, right? And I know that not every protester, I know not every left-leaning liberal that's part of the Democratic Party is some radical communist or anarchist. But and I don't believe that any right-winged Republican conservative is this racist, phobic, whatever you want to call it, redneck scumbag. That's not who we are. Most of America, I can say, is fairly decent, but it it just America's like this. There's this loud minority of people in these political parties, and sometimes they're not even in political parties. They might just be some anarchists or fascists or not neo-Nazis or communists, all sorts of this shit. But they're portraying the government and this sort of political party as these people. And then as soon as one person, for instance, both what was that one, those two shootings that have been going on. I think it was in Dayton. I know it was in Ohio and Texas. I remember. I don't remember the other one. But those two shootings, they both had some right-leaning and left-leaning politics. Both of them had different political views, but they were, radicalized to a point where those views were shown as, oh, what if someone like looks at them and like goes, "Oh, well, that's the Republicans for you. That's the Democrats for you." Because the media portrays it that way. The media betrays the people, gives false headlines. It's worse. Like political figures and like politicians, they'll be paying these people too. Say that's a conspiracy, but they'd be paying, in a way, they'd be paying these people back. Because that's getting them their votes. They're getting your votes. That's what's going on. And then growing up in a country that I chose and I absolutely love. I love this fucking country. I believe it's the best country. There's a reason why there's people that are jealous of our country. People, whether it be in Latin America, Africa, Europe, everywhere. There's a reason why a lot of people want to come to this country. It's because the other countries, they don't have the sort of freedoms we do. But there's people that are taking advantage of our freedoms right now that are turning us against each other and harming our brothers and sisters and our mothers and fathers over silly political views. Where we're willing to kill someone over our views, whether we're willing to cut ties with someone over their views, or seeing all these stuff about, oh, this side is horrible and this side's even worse, or any of these, and people being influenced to these points, that these radical groups and these media outlets, they're portraying us as terrorists, rioters, anarchists, fascists, neo-Nazis, communists, all these horrible views. It's disgusting. This is those people that are part of these groups, Ku Klux Klan, Antifa, Proud Boys. I can't think of anything else, but these groups, they're the evil of this world. Because that's just giving them headlines, these media outlets headlines to portray us as evil fucking people. There's another quote I have that 70% of America is centrist, which means, if you don't know what that means, it's they're more in the middle, and and people can swing, right, left, they can swing different ways, depending. It doesn't matter. They're still considered centrist. But both 15% is leaning towards the right or the left. So why are we letting that 15% take over the country? Taking over the country as in, why are we letting a singular group like Republican Party, which is mainly a conservative right-leaning party, or the Democratic Party, which is a mainly liberal left-leaning party? Why is that? Why can't we have, because I believe that we could have a better party which is showing more civil liberties and economic freedom. Because me, myself, I'm right-leaning, I'm a centrist, center-right, conservative, leaning more and more towards the right, but I believe that give people civil liberties, liberal sort of liberties, and right-leaning economic freedom. That's where people can draw the line. That's where a country could be great. But we can't see that. And now more and more people, because that number, 70% of people are, 70% are centrists. That's probably outdated at this point now. Because more people are just going to keep flocking and flocking to the other side. They're going to start taking sides. More people are going to start going either left or right, because now people know that they're going to have to start making choices. May not be good, but who knows? I think I'm going to end the video here. May not be the best, but me talking's certainly not the best thing either. I don't know. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you at least listened to it. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to be very busy this week, but I promise I'll start making more videos. So, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.